Well, after my last vlog, I've decided to do a little bit of landscape shooting. I've just grabbed a gear, packed the car and driven down the road. Funnily enough, I'm back down the Mornington Peninsula, only because it is so easy to access all the locations down here. You basically just drive up to the car park, a little bit of walking, and you're at some fantastic spots. So tonight I've actually headed down to Portsea to the London Bridge rock formation. Now, we've had a couple stunning days of winter, and that's one reason why I headed down here. There was a lot of high cloud blowing around. I thought, beautiful, awesome bit of colour. And as I've started driving down, it's gotten quite misty in the distance, bit of cloud cover. 5 minutes later, it started raining. I thought, oh no, and it's very grey. A lot of low cloud heading this way at the moment, but when I look out towards the west, where the sun will be setting, it doesn't look too bad. So I'll find out when we get down there. But anyway, in the meantime, let's grab the gear and get on out of the car. We are just heading to the lookout, and as you can see, the clouds are looking quite grey, and all of that's heading towards this way. So just going to head up and see what it looks like heading towards the west. As I've come up, I can see the horizon looks almost clear, so we could be in for a bit of colour, but time will tell. We'll just have to wait and see. But let's keep moving up to the lookout, eh? Lookout, and it's not looking too bad. The sun's about to come out from under the low cloud, so fingers crossed that it lights that low cloud up nicely. I don't think it's going to throw out any big reds or pinks, but I've got a feeling it might throw a nice, just an orange cast across all that textured low cloud, which will look absolutely stunning. At the same time, as soon as it dips below the horizon, because there's a gap in the cloud and the horizon, it's going to throw out a nice bit of hopefully soft orange glowing light across everything else. So what I'm thinking is, I've got the main archway of the London Bridge just right in front of me. Now if I go out across the top of these cliffs, hopefully I can get a nice bit of foreground interest that's going to catch that side lighting as the sun's setting, and use that as like a nice lead into the actual image. The one thing I am battling is a lot of rain coming from the south at the moment. It is heading this way, so hopefully it takes its time in getting here, and takes another hour. That'd be nice if it did. Nah, it's all good. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the gear and see if I can find a composition from up here. Now, if I can't, the other option is I'm going to head down the beach. From up here I can see a few little rock structures. The waves are coming up, wrapping around, and I want to get that nice water outflow from the rock, and use that as a foreground interest with the archway in the background. So I've got a couple options here. Just going to suss out the top of the cliff one first, and then I'll see how that goes, and yeah, we'll take it from there. So let's have a look. Well, I've come away from the lookout probably only a minute across the top of the cliffs, and found a composition I'm happy with. Now, I've got obviously the archway as the main subject, but I'm using just a little bit of the little sea bush foliage in the foreground as a foreground interest. Now, as I predicted, that sun has come out from under the clouds and it is golden. It's very harsh though, so I can't take an image just yet. Even to my eye, I can see the difference between the very warm sun and the blues in the shadows, and that would come up very, such a contrast in an image. So I'm going to hold off for probably about 20 minutes to get this image. But as I found out, there's another quick way down the beach here. So once I've gotten this photo from here and I'm happy with it, I'm going to just duck down the beach and try and get one with a rock in the foreground. I'll see how that goes. Now, what I'm going to use is a circular polarizer. Again, there's a fair bit of sea mist in the air, so a bit of haze, so it'll help remove that haze, help cut through it, as well as a bit of glare from the water. But I'm also going to be running a 3-stop soft edge Grad ND just to remove a lot of that harshness from that sun. Even once that's set, it's going to be very bright just to the right of the frame. So I'm going to need that, and I've got a feeling I'm going to need a bracket 3 images as well, just to be able to pull as much detail from this rock formation in front of me out as possible without too much noise, because it is going to be in pure shadow as opposed to sky, which is going to be very bright. So look, I'm kind of excited to see how this one comes out now. Other settings, I'm running f11, ISO 50, and then I'll just alter the shutter speed depending on what's needed at the time, just to avoid highlight blowouts. But as I said, I'm running a 3 bracket exposures, so I'll be right there anyway. I should be able to work around it. So look, I'm just going to sit here and wait, guys. That's all we can do.
Wish that I could stay, wish for this moment to never go away, but it's all in my mind, and though I know that there is nothing to find.
Whee! How's the colour in the sky behind me? Absolutely beautiful.
And you can't put up a fight.
So I've just run a quick exposure now. Let me just check that while we're here. Ignore the white balance issues. I knew that was going to be a problem. Beautiful. That's captured that light beautifully right over the top of that rock in the foreground. Now what I'm going to do is quickly focus on the very foreground, the salt bushes in the front, take another 3 bracketed exposures, then quickly duck down to the beach, because that colour is really starting to show in the sky now. So let me just quickly do this. Definitely stoked with that one, guys. Now, I'm trying to do this one-handed so I can film at the same time. Just going to quickly run down this dodgy little path here, and hopefully not drop a few filters on the way. Got to hurry up because that colour is spectacular. That sky is looking awesome. Just going to find a rock for a foreground interest and get this shot as well. Alright, well that awesome red in the sky has disappeared, but now we've got this awesome grey, moody, dark cloud right above this rock structure. It's beautiful. So what I've done is I've run down the beach. I've got this nice little stack of rocks in front of me. Now it's sort of a few little rock ledges that are leading in towards the London Bridge itself. Now what I'm waiting for is just the right amount of water to come up and swirl around them to get a little bit of movement in the foreground, add a bit of brightness to an otherwise reasonably dull and moody scene. Here we go now. I'll talk you through the settings in... Nah, it didn't quite come up high enough. The settings I'm running f10, ISO 200, and a 3-second exposure. I'm going to actually bump that up to... Actually, I'm going to take it down to f9. Only to make sure we're getting enough light. I don't want to run any more than 3 seconds, because after that you start to lose the detail in the water swirls, which I really like to maintain in these sort of shots. That's nice, but I just need the exposure's spot on. I just need a little bit more movement in the foreground. Now I'm running a vertical composition for this one, which I can probably crop down to a 4x5. I reckon, because I'll be using the rocks right in the foreground, but I can lose a little bit of the sky because I've got a lot of the sky in the shot at the moment. Here we go, hang on. Exposure running. Let's check this out. Yeah, very nice, I like that, I like that. The only thing I'm not happy about is how dark the actual the archway is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a brighter exposure. I'm not too concerned about the water movement for that one, just so I can bring in some of the detail from that and not worry about noise. It'll add a big pop to the image. So I'm just going to bump it up to a 10-second exposure just for this one. So I'll just wait for this to run and see how it looks. Yeah, perfect, perfect. 10 seconds has brought in a lot of light to that. The only blowout I'm getting on 10 seconds is just a small band on the top of the horizon, just above the horizon, just behind the archway. So I'm not too concerned about that. Yeah, I think this has come out nice. just going to wait for one more. I'm going to drop it back down to a 3-second exposure. Actually, I'm probably going to go, yeah, 3-second exposure. Just waiting for one more wave to come in. We've got a fair, well, there's a lot of water on its way now, so I better get ready to run as well. Oh, it's kind of exciting being down these back beaches, isn't it? You just never know what you're going to get. Chickened out, had to retreat on that one, which means I've lost my composition to be able to merge multiple together. But look, I'm happy with the one I got before anyway. It was just the right amount of water. I would have liked a little bit more of a swirl in there, but you know what? Doesn't matter, it's come out nice, guys. I'm just going to have another quick walk up this beach, see if there's anything else I see, and then head back to the car. I couldn't find any other compositions anyway up the beach, so time to head back to the car anyway. Look, hope you enjoyed this video. It was a nice last minute decision to hopefully break the drought of the motivation to get out and do these shoots. Stoked with the images I've got. I can't wait to get home and see them on the computer and give them a little edit. Oh man, there is always so much climbing on these back beach adventures. So look guys, thanks for coming, and yeah, take it easy. Hope you enjoyed the vlog, and I'll catch you around. Cheers guys.